The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
This morning from the Morning Drive, sounds like some kind of official broadcast communique from the Morning Drive. Just the Morning Drive. Okay? Just the Morning Drive. Yates Flooring Center chat line is open. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank for that. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Red Raider football with Joey McGuire last night. His opening kind of talk a little bit was the 21 points in 52 seconds, and then just overall, we needed that. Players, coaches, fans, everyone. Just the kind of the complete ball game it seemed like, and the blowout, and being able to play a lot of young guys and things like that. So not a whole lot of different from what we've heard earlier this week. Talked quite a bit about Taj Brooks and what he brings just from a confidence level to this team, and then kind of thinking about the Jets and the Patriots last night, and just kind of listening to some of the commentary of it, that the way that Aaron Rodgers plays kind of elevates the rest of the team, the whole team, offense, defense, the way that he's kind of a surgeon down the field. He had a really good game last night. The Jets won. And I just wondered if there's more to this than we always – it feels like sometimes some of that can be considered a little coach speak, but then sometimes there's a whole lot to that when you have that person out there that maybe is the leader of your team, or is that a guy that can provide a lot of productivity and stuff like that allows you to be to play with a little freer, or a little not like you have to do more than what you're supposed to do. And Coach McGuire talked about how having Taj Brooks on the field allows Baron Morton to take a deep breath. He said gives us confidence as a team. He said the person that feels most comfortable with 28 on the field is me. And that's Coach McGuire. And he said he just brings so much confidence to our team. That it's just, I don't know.
It's not Chuck Heinz.
It's not me, no. It's not me. You're laughing.
Well, you were quoting him, and you said me. That's Coach McGuire.
Well, me. That's Coach. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. He didn't say. I think the guy he brings the most confidence to is my good friend Chuck Heinz over there. He bought me a jacket, and he just feels better when he's out there running the football.
I don't think he considers me his good friend. I mean,
I bet he does.
Yeah.
Brennan and I do.
Acquaintance. You guys don't ever do anything with me. I mean, you just put up with me for 3 hours in the morning.
We have fun with you for 3 hours.
Brennan on Friday.
Yeah, this is our.
Is this your highlight of the week?
Yeah, this is the highlight of the week. This is a time that I get to enjoy.
To be with a local Lubbock legend.
Right. Oh yeah. He pointed out a couple of things. He said that he felt like defensively, for as critical as he was after week 2, he said felt like that in the North Texas game they tackled as well as they have in the last 2 years in a game.
That's probably something we haven't talked enough about this week, but it did feel like whether it be the line of scrimmage, in space, whatever, that they did a really good job of that.
Yeah, he talked about how the defense played fast, was physical, and I didn't realize this, and I guess if I'd have gone through the play-by-play of the statistics, I would have realized this, but at one point in time in the ball game, UNT was 0 of 9 on third down.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just huge. That's just huge. Again, he brought up the fact that Baron Morton threw a laser, and said if anybody had any questions about his health, look at that pass. So that was brought up again. But so I think that the question on is Baron Morton healthy, I think is answered for the moment.
Well, he's definitely doubling down on it if he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and part of that is Coach McGuire was taking criticism from a lot of people when when the thought was there that he was injured.
Yeah. Or
that Barron was injured after the Washington State game. A lot of people were questioning the coaching staff of why didn't you go after, more proven quarterback in the transfer portal when you didn't know if this guy was going to be healthy or not. And Coach McGuire had said all along that he was going to be healthy by June 1st, and that appears to be that way. But he was taking a lot of criticism of they should have gone after somebody, and they messed that up completely. Should have never gone into a season with a quarterback that was questionable whether he was healthy or not. Blah 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 blah. And so I'm sure the fact that he's brought that up a few times isn't just about Barron.
Yeah.
But it's somewhat defending himself as well.
Yeah, or his coaching staff and people around him. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So they are going to get Sterling Porcher back. He did say that at that offensive line spot, and he said what the other thing that that will help they've created some depth in with Dalton Merriman, who is a 6'9", 305 junior. I think they were excited about being able to do that and have a little bit extra protection for Baron Morton on that offensive line. Talked quite a bit about Cam Skattebo, and that's how you pronounce it, Skattebo, like a ghost. Okay, like Casper the Ghost. Boo! Skattebo. Okay, just trying to help you out there. Described him as a bad man. He said we're going to see two of the best running backs in the country, and him and Taj Brooks. He's very physical, runs downhill. He says it's going to be critical to gang tackle him, cancel gaps, set edges, force them to run where they want him to run. So that's a guy that you're really going to have to keep an eye on. Keep a looky-loo on. Cam Skattebo.
I'd like to go back to your first comments, and I don't disagree at all with what Coach McGuire has said, and I think we even talked a little bit about the fact that Taj being in there makes a difference in so many different ways. Just not just because you have a great player, but he's a veteran player who calms everybody down and gives you a lot of confidence, all that good stuff. It's still just there's also the other part of it, though. I mean, there's the other side of it that your quarterback should be. You want your quarterback to be a calm guy. You want your quarterback to, no matter who's out there, say, all right, let's go, guys. And so, I mean, I guess I'm just saying I don't want to take away. You need your quarterback to play better on the road. Okay? Taj not being out there shouldn't have made Barron miss open receivers. Okay? I get that they get sped up at times. I get that, his protection is not as good and all that. But when you have a quarterback that was as inaccurate as Barron was on the road at Washington State, you just got to be better. Yeah, that's really not about your running back not being there.
And hopefully that will improve over the next couple of weeks, tomorrow, Saturday, so that when you're going into the Arizona game, you have maybe a little bit more confidence, or you have, the zip on your ball that you need, or you've got the reps that you need with the receivers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, we're just in such a strange situation here where, I mean, you played so well last weekend and you put it all together and it was really impressive. And I go into this game, feeling good about the team and decently confident and feeling good about this game. And I mean, if I'm looking ahead a little bit, I feel the same way with Cincinnati. And then I just slam the brakes on after that because I have no idea what you are going to get on the road. None. I mean, we're not just talking about this happened one time with Washington State. This is 3 years in a row where your offense just is not the same team on the road. So I'm still holding out hope that was just, hey, it was just one game this year and we had a bad day and we can be a good team away from home. But, if you go over what we've been the last 3 years under this regime, it's just not been good offensively on the road. So I'm like feeling good about this week and feeling confident about next week. And then I'm like, I don't know, slam on the brakes. And I don't think Arizona's that great. Not nearly as good as I thought they were going to be. But I just have no idea what we'll get from the Red Raiders.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, good morning. It is the Morning Drive. getting you ready for Optimum Game Day Live. We're actually the pregame show for that, for tomorrow morning, 24 hours from now, over at Jones Stadium, right there at the front of the Fraser Alumni Pavilion. Come by and see us throughout the day today, or tomorrow, actually, as we'll have extensive coverage for you, Texas Tech and Arizona State. Kicks at 2:30. Our coverage is all day long. Good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff, and Brendan Riker. I'm Chuck Heinz. Jeff is out today. He's working, but he's just not with us. You can hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. We'll take your score predictions as well. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. I don't recognize this text, and it's deep analysis from Cactus G, Jamie. The real difference between a cupcake and a muffin is the sugar content. There is more sugar in a cupcake than a muffin. You will find muffins are traditionally more dense, much denser than cupcakes as well. If you want to get real technical, you can use different flour other than your regular store-bought flour to achieve this. Spent many years in F&B, specifically with pastry chefs.
Yeah, I believe all that.
Cactus G.
Mm-hmm.
F&B is food and beverage for the hotel and restaurant industry.
Mm-hmm.
F&B. I just want to give you a technical term there. Mm-hmm. Marquis says this: muffins are denser, like some people. I think that was maybe directed at me.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's it's up for you to decide, I guess.
This Jamie is right. Chuck, stay out of the kitchen. Okay.
I don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen either, and I don't play pickleball, so.
Okay.
You don't even get that joke, do you?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that you don't care for pickleball.
Correct.
And I know that
there's a certain area just across the net each side that's called the kitchen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to go in there.
Okay. Stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't have dumb terms like that in tennis.
No, you don't. You don't. No, you don't. Just deuce and other stuff like that. But that's not a dumb term.
Inside the service box or outside the service box.
Right. Bullfighter offers this analysis. If a cupcake is a muffin, then a hot dog is a sandwich. No, it is not. It can have the same ingredients as a sandwich. I don't believe that a hot dog is a sandwich. It's a hot dog. At any rate, if you have a score prediction for us, we would love to hear one on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that. What's your percentage, do you think, for you tomorrow in winning? How high is it?
For Texas Tech in winning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 80-ish.
Okay.
85-ish.
I was thinking more of the lines of 65-70%.
Really? That low?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think Arizona State's a better squad than we thought they were, and I think they're going to come in, with the hair on fire. They're undefeated, so
hair on fire.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Why will our hair not be on fire?
I don't know. Maybe someone needs to light it on fire again. I'm not sure. Maybe
why do they get to have theirs? Why do they get to be motivated and we don't?
I think our hair's going to be on fire.
Yeah, what has them more motivated than we are? Just because they're 3-0? Maybe they're less motivated because they're fat and happy, feeling like
they're coming into first Big 12 game for them. They're on the road. And I'm not saying that Texas Tech can't have their hair on fire, but I'm just thinking that Arizona State, both teams are going to be motivated. It's going to be pretty close. I think Tech has the slight edge just because it is at home, and you have that comfort of playing in front of your home fans. I still think it's going to be a good contest.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game for most of the game. I can't accept them being more motivated than us. I just can't. I can't accept that. I can accept you thinking they will be. I will be really frustrated if they are.
My percentage is 90.
Okay.
But I think, if you're going to play at home, I think you're coming off some, you got momentum and all that kind of stuff.
We're going to see history tomorrow. History.
Because of the first Big 12 game for Arizona State?
It's going to be the first ever loss in the Big 12 for Arizona State.
Oh, yeah. Hey, do you think if you took their 85 or 125 or how many people are in their travel party, lined them all up and said, how many teams can you name in the Big 12? What do you think they'd get? Do you think they'd get more than 8?
Yes.
I don't.
Like their players?
Yeah.
They don't know the 16 teams in the Big 12 conference.
No way, no how, buddy boy. No way, no. I bet you they couldn't get more than 7 or 6 of who they're playing.
But our guys can?
I'd put our guys. I'd say our guys could get an average. I'd put our guys at an average of 10 or 11.
Could only name 10 out of 16 teams in the Big 12 conference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why do you think our guys are so dumb?
I don't think they're dumb. I just think it's just gotten so doggone confusing with who's on first.
To a certain degree, I can't tell you who's in the AAC or something like that, or the Southland. Does that even exist? Or the Mountain West? I get it. Okay. But surely,
I think there's going to be. I think there'd be.
They can tell you who's in the SEC, or they might not be able to list all the SEC teams. They might not be able to list the ACC teams or the Big 10 teams. But surely the teams in the Big 12 they can.
I think there'd be some that would be shocked that there's a team from Florida in the Big 12.
Like they've never heard of UCF.
Yeah.
And we played them last year.
I'm just saying there's not necessarily our guys. I'm just saying Arizona State's guys.
We need to stop paying these people. I mean,
anyway, I just thought that just kind of came out.
Are you on board, Brendan?
I think, okay, so we lose 2. We played all the newcomers but Cincinnati last year that were in last year, and now we bring in teams that are somewhat close to Texas, between Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. We used to play in the same conference as Colorado. We've had history with Arizona State. I think 10 out of 16 is a little too low.
I agree. I think if you gave them 5 minutes,
no way,
98% of their guys could come up with all 16 teams in the conference.
I think stopped 100 cars over here at 6th and Avenue Q and said, "Can you name the number of teams?"
I didn't ask for 100 randos. We're talking about college football players who are playing in the league.
I'm telling you, I don't.
They don't ever look at the standings.
I don't think
they
so.
don't ever pay attention to what the other teams in the conference are doing.
They're worried about them. I don't think it's an indictment on anybody's intelligence.
Well, I do.
Okay, well,
I would think our players were dumb if they could name only 10 teams.
Well, I'm not going to test them. Okay, Centex Hank says this: Tech 34, Arizona State 14.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Next, Jamie's question of the day.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, guys. Very simple 3-part question for you here.
Wow. 3-part. Mm-hmm. Means you really got to listen, Brennan. You got to really listen.
Please tell me 3 things that must happen for Texas Tech to win tomorrow. So basically your 3 keys to the game. 3 keys to the game.
I think you've got to keep Scattaboo from probably getting over 150, 175 yards. You got to. I think the other thing is keep them from extending drives, converting on 3rd down, because I think that's where you've had a problem with the running quarterback over the years. The running quarterback who's at 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, back to pass. Defensive backs do a really good job. Oh my God, the middle is wide open, and he runs for 22, extends the drive. Then the other thing I think is that you need Baron Morton and Taj Brooks to be Baron Morton and Taj Brooks, the complementary football that they played together last week, and then with the defense and all that kind of stuff. So those are my 3.
Okay.
I think first and foremost, you got to get turnovers, and you got to win the. It's the same thing, but you got to win the turnover margin. You did a really good job getting those 3 turnovers in the first half, and that really helped win that game early in that game against UNT. I think you have to contain their running back because he's good. He averages 124 yards a game. You can't let him have a big rushing game. And then I think you have to establish a solid run game yourself. I know you have Cam Valdez out, but I should expect Texas Tech to have Taj set up the offense, get comfortable with a solid rushing attack with him, try to set up what you want to do in the pass game.
Okay, so I start where Brennan left off. Number one to me is you have to establish a good run game. You just can't put all this on Baron Morton, and Taj Brooks and Cam Dickey have to be good. So okay. I think, and the offensive line has to do a decent job. So I think first and foremost, it's establishing a run game. I think you have to contain their run game. You don't have to shut them down. You just can't let them run all over you. And I think you have to, for the third thing for me is I think you have to make them one-dimensional. If they're going to have some success running the football, and again, you contain it, but some success running the football, you can't let them be beating you through the air as well. If you're slowing them down in the run game, you can probably survive them having some success through the air. I don't think you necessarily have to win the turnover battle, but I think you have to be close. Okay. I mean, if you lost it 2-1 or 1-0, I don't think that probably doesn't cost you the game. Yeah. You lose it by 3-0 or 3-1, maybe so. But control the run game, run the football effectively yourself, and just make them one-dimensional on offense. Got to be able to take away one or the other.
As I'm sitting here and listening to you guys talking about the run game, and I talked about it as well. The other thing is that your number of possessions may be limited because they're going if they're running the ball. I mean, the clock's going to run a lot, and so that goes back to what you were saying with regard to, the turnovers, and you can't afford to give up, a ton of turnovers. But I think getting them off the field is going to be important tomorrow, and not letting them have long, drawn-out drives. Because I think you have the ability to get explosive drives, but I think they have the ability to take out. And I think Tech has done a decent job at times of having long, sustained 7, 8, 10 play, 12 play drives. But I just think I think that's going to be a factor tomorrow as well. So it could be a little bit quicker game tomorrow than what we've seen.
Maybe so.
Okay. You have to win the battle up front on both sides of the ball, run the ball effectively, hit the quarterback early and often. Okay.
That first thing, super important. I can't agree with you more. At the same time, I just don't know how many times this year we're going to win the battle up front. I mean, offensively and defensively, I think you did last week, but I'm not super confident that that's going to happen.
Here's a positive thought, tongue-in-cheek, sarcasm. We are hosed tomorrow due to a running quarterback. We are hosed tomorrow. Carl, who's in Lubbock, I think this is our friend Carl from California. I saw him last night at Red Raider football with Joey McGuire. Block, tackle, score. Seems pretty basic. Block, tackle, score.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. Block, tackle, score. I never was really good at the rock, paper, scissors thing.
It's all luck, isn't it?
I'm sure there's some skill involved in it, too. Bobby Hot Dog says, there is no way these players do not know who the other teams in their conferences are. I completely disagree with you. I'm telling you, I don't think they do. I don't think they care, frankly, either.
I think my favorite part, which you said that Arizona State doesn't know who they're playing this week.
I'll bet you we see at least one player do a horns down tomorrow.
How much you want to bet on that?
When have we ever seen that against Texas Tech?
I'm just telling you, these guys they're from Tempe, man. They don't know. They're brand new. This is game one.
We played Washington State 2 weeks ago. Did they do it?
They're still in the Pac-12. Pac-2.
Have to do with anything.
Avoid turnovers and penalties. Yes, I think of avoiding the penalties too, especially those doggone pre-snap penalties. Oh my goodness. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. That just drives you that drives you crazy. Hopefully we've settled on that. Coach McGuire also said this last night, Jamie. He said, the conventional thing is you make your biggest improvement between game 1 and game 2. And he felt like that for them, game 3 was their kind of game 2. He said if he felt like the improvement for them was from game 2 to game 3 as opposed from game 1 to game 2. I guess that's kind of a Captain Obvious.
I was going to say
statement there.
Yeah, I think we would all agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't see a lot. Didn't see a ton of improvement in that 37-16 manhandling Washington State gave you.
Right.
Yeah. But you know what? It may have come a week later than we had hoped for, but at least it came.
Right. Yeah, you showed some improvement.
Yeah. Hopefully it keeps going.
Marquis says, Chuck, ... What? I don't think that's the first time he's ever said that to me. Ryan, Sun Devils, Dirt Devils, who gives a crap? Tech by a million.
Green jacket, gold jacket.
Yeah.
What movie is that from?
As a former college athlete and have a kid that's a college athlete, the players don't know. It's hard as a fan to understand the athlete is not as passionate about the school or the rivalries as the fan. They come to a school to play a game they love. FYI, the teammates are not best friends. Sorry to disappoint. Okay. Truth teller. Soothsayer.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
This morning on the Morning Drive, good morning with Jamie Lent and Brendan Reicher's in for Jeff McGuire this morning. Nice to have you with us today. We come to you from the First United Bank studio and look forward to hearing from you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. All right, so we owe Brendan a pop quiz.
Yeah, well, in case you're just joining us, earlier today, Chuck mentioned that he didn't think the Arizona State football players would get more than 7 teams in the Big 12 Conference.
I stand by that.
He also said that he thinks many of them don't know who they're playing this week.
I think, yeah.
Like they're not watching film on the Red Raiders or anything.
We're playing Texas. We're going to Texas is what they're going to say.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I disagree with most of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. He suggested that the Red Raider football players wouldn't be able to get more than 10 teams in the conference.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Choice popped in the door in the commercial break. Okay. And he said that he, for the most part, disagreed with you, but he thought there would be some players that probably couldn't get past 10.
Yeah.
Okay, which just blows my mind. It just really feels like that many times as they're looking in the standings to see who's leading the conference or who they got on the schedule, that they would know the teams in the conference.
I don't think they're looking at the standings.
You don't think they are? They don't know. They don't care who's leading the conference.
I don't think they're just worried about. Yeah. We want them focused on the play at hand.
Okay. Well.
Kind of like me.
All right. Focused. So Choice gave Chuck a pop quiz in the break. How many Big 12 teams he could rattle off? And again, we didn't give him the full 5 minutes. He just rattled and then he stopped and then I probably gave him about 20 seconds or so, and then I hopped in with the ones that he missed. Yeah, he got 12 out of 16, Big 12. Okay.
Right away. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
boom, boom.
Yeah. I mean, those first 12 were pretty simple, and then 8.
I didn't get the one that we're playing this weekend either.
He missed both Arizona schools, Utah and Houston.
I don't think I said Cincinnati. Well, I think I said
You did.
I did say Cincinnati. Yeah.
Okay, so pop quiz. Earlier, Chuck nailed 10 out of 18. I don't know that that's really nailed. He duct taped together 10 out of 18 from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Now it's Brennan's turn.
You're gonna give him the Pac-2.
We're saving that one for me.
Okay.
A or B, Brennan?
I'll take B.
B is the ACC. There are 17 teams in the ACC.
So I'll start with the new ones. SMU, Cal, Stanford, Florida State, Clemson, Boston College, Wake Forest, North Carolina State, Duke.
10.
Who else? Right now I'm at 10. I'm trying to think of the. I'm trying to go down the ACC.
This is proving that it's harder than I think, probably.
Yeah.
It hurts that I started on the opposite end of the Atlantic coast. Miami.
Okay, 11. I'm just gonna tell you, you're offending me right now, Brendan. You're missing the team that's on the top of the ACC football standings right now. What's my hometown, Brendan?
Oh, Syracuse.
There you go.
The Fighting Orange.
I didn't get any hints like that. Like, who are we playing this week, Chuck?
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, so we're gonna stop at 11. All right, since I started giving hints. I think you missed Virginia.
Yeah.
And then Virginia Tech after that.
What about Georgia Tech?
Georgia Tech.
Pitt.
No, didn't get Pitt.
They just played West Virginia.
Right.
Dang it.
Backyard brawl.
Did you get Louisville?
I did not get Louisville. That's also a tough one because you don't think of Louisville also in the ACC.
Va-Tech?
I did not get them.
Stanford, Clemson, Wake, and Florida State. You did. All right, you want one more shot, Chuck?
I think I'm good. I think I'm good on the
You don't want to do the SEC? I feel like that's the easiest one. And both times, you both picked the other conference to go to.
Probably so, because there's just so many teams. Like
do it together.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, Alabama, Mississippi State, Missouri, Georgia. Let's see.
Can't believe you didn't go Missouri first.
Yeah. Texas A&M.
5.
Texas, Oklahoma.
Vanderbilt. Tennessee.
We didn't say Ole Miss.
10.
There's 12 or 14?
16.
16.
Oh, gravy.
Great.
South Carolina.
Oh, there you go.
LSU.
Okay, yeah.
Kentucky. Auburn.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's like sometimes
it's harder than it sounds.
Sometimes, yeah.
But I think if you wrote them down and looked at them,
You'd probably
you'd have a better chance.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you start so strong, and then once you reach a certain point, you're like, okay, now I'm really grasping for straws to see who else I'm missing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Somebody's ask me to take the same quiz. I feel pretty confident in the Big 12 because I do it every week. Choice gives me the, you got to do your power rankings, and I sit there and immediately write them down. I was just telling Chuck during the break, I always seem to get 15, and there's one team I'm missing, and it takes me about 30 seconds to figure out which team I'm missing. I feel confident in the Big 12. I would have probably done just about the same as these two, I think, on the other 3 conferences.
Okay, Big 12 this week. If you could go to one game that's not Texas Tech and Arizona State, which game would you want to go to? Which game do you think is going to have the best environment? Or the best game? How about even best game?
Okay, well, I would have 3 different answers for that.
Okay.
Okay. Which one do I think will be the best game? I guess Oklahoma State, Utah.
Is that the game you'd want to go to the most?
No.
Okay.
I would not want to go.
Would you want to go to the Colorado Rockies or the mountains in Provo?
Yeah, that's after they're going to BYU.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I would go. I think I'm really intrigued by Kansas, West Virginia, even more so than I am Utah, Oklahoma State.
I think that game, and that's going to be one of the games we pick, I think that game will tell a lot about the rest of the season for the winner of that game.
Yeah. I think the atmosphere will be great there. I think they're 2 good football teams that have gotten off to a slow start. I'm really intrigued by that game. I wish it was the late game.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Here on the Morning Drive, it is time for Upon Further Review. I have Jeff's scores, and I'll get Jamie and Brennan's scores and mine as well. We'll start with Kansas at West Virginia. Need a winner and score, please. Brennan, you won last week, so you get to go first.
West Virginia beats Kansas 35-31.
Jamie?
I'll say Kansas figures it out. 31-28.
Wow, 31-28. Jeff has West Virginia winning 30-21 there in Morgantown. And I'll take the Jayhawks. I think KU wins the ball game 31. No, I'll make it 35. I'll make it 35-34. Neil Brown goes for 2.
What?
And there'll be discussion about that as opposed to tying it and going into overtime. Okay. Next up, Utah at Oklahoma State. Brendan?
Utah wins this game. I'll say 42-35.
What was the score again?
42-35.
42-35. Wow. Jamie?
I'll take Oklahoma State 31-28.
31-28. Jeff has Oklahoma State winning 28-24. And Brendan, you're going to be the only one that picks Utah. I think Oklahoma State wins 35-14. I think there's more firepower there for the Cowboys than Utah. Next up, Baltimore at Dallas.
The Cowboys will have a bounce back win. 28-24.
Jamie?
I'll take the Cowboys 24-20.
So come as no surprise to long-time or even short-time listeners. The Ravens, this is Jeff, 24, Cowboys 17. That doesn't surprise you, does it? I'm going to take the Ravens as well. I think Lamar Jackson has a big day. I don't think the Dallas defense has a very big day, nor does the Dallas offense. I think Dallas loses 31-17. All right. Get this. I need you to pick one of these. I'm sorry. Pick one. Yards rushing. Taj Brooks, Sam Levitt, or Cam Skattebo.
Taj Brooks.
Okay. How many yards rushing?
110.
Jeff said Taj Brooks 147. Jamie?
Taj Brooks 127.
Okay. I'm going to say Cam Skattebo 97. Hope I'm not jinxing us right there. Now
I think you're fine with 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's in the realm of you winning.
I do too.
Yeah, unless Levitt goes for,
272.
150.
Yeah. Arizona State at Texas Tech.
Texas Tech will win this football game 35-28.
Okay. Jamie?
I think I predicted earlier this week. I'm trying to remember.
I know.
I think it was 41-28 Red Raiders.
41-28. Jeff has Tech winning 30-17, and I think my score was 31-24, something along those lines. Finally, our tiebreaker. This is a different one. Number of sacks for either Tech or Arizona State.
Texas Tech will have. I'll say they'll have 3 sacks.
That would be more than what they have for the first 3 games.
I'm
confident?
I'm going to stand by it.
Okay.
I'll stand by it.
Jeff says 1. Jamie?
1.
1. Okay.
Tech.
1 for Tech. Okay. This is probably a stupid. Jeff's was 1 for Tech as well. I'm going to say 2 for Arizona State. That was dumb.
Jeff and I tie.
Yeah.
We got to go to the second tiebreaker.
Both get a point. Yeah. We'll flip a coin. We'll do rock, paper, scissors. All right. That's upon further review this morning here on the Morning Drive. This person says, talked to Bowman last night. He says they're ready to go. Oklahoma State for the win. Do you believe that?
Hope he didn't call during Wheel of Fortune.
Was he a big Wheel of Fortune guy?
Wheel of Fortune is, kind of the joke is that it's for old people.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's a joke about Bowman being in college.
Yeah, it's really the Senior Bowl tomorrow with Cam Rising and
no question.
Senior Bowl.
No question.
Senior citizen.
We watch that show at our house. I guess we're old.
I used to watch that as a kid every Wednesday.
Juan weighs in with his predictions. He has KU winning 31-24, Oklahoma State winning 42-28, the Ravens beating the Cowboys 24-13, Taj with 152. And then he has Tech winning 45-24. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Bullfighter, you're not a bona fide host, Chuck. You're right.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's probably because I said some questions. I get the dumb questions. You get the smart questions. This from Dan in Dallas. I'm all depressed now. I told my wife that Chuck said my questions were not very deep in thought, and she agreed. So it's called a muffin pan or a cupcake pan? That from Racer 26. Going back to, are muffins just...
Cupcakes with icing.
Cupcakes without icing. Without icing. Cupcakes are muffins without icing.
There's differences to them. There's no question.
Yeah. But that was a big part of conversation earlier.
Very, 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 very close relatives.
Yeah. Somebody says this: why target and spend resources to recruit a player only to tell him, nah?
That's a really weird story.
Just kidding. You come in after you've seen everybody else's place. See if you still like us. Goodness.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.